Well, Iran and Israel broke the ceasefire, but the market doesn't seem to care. I'll tell you what, it's like a geopolitical version of sibling rivalry where Trump, will call him the parent figure in this case, is telling the siblings to stop. He puts them on opposite sides, they lay the law down, and then they just keep on like smacking and scratching at each other anyway. I only wish that it was at the sibling rivalry level rather than at the geopolitical level because violence ain't my thing. In any case, as we look at the markets, we are dollars away from the all-time highs in QQQ and SPY, and then also IWM's getting darn close to that 200-day. I'm going to share those technicals with you. Also, I have a stock that could really do some outperforming in the near future given the volume and recent movement that it's seen, along with the other technical indicators that we can line up with it. And if you guys want to see more about my technicals, my buys, my sells, the information that I have to share that I find important, that I think is really going to impact the markets, along with the other panel experts, we have a Discord together. You guys can find the link down in the description for that. When you sign up for the Earner Tier, you get 50% off your first month sign up and check things out for less than $1 a day and get unrestricted access to everything that's available to the community members. I'll tell you more about that later. I do want to get into the charts. So the very first one for you is QQQ. We're going to pop all that mess down, and then we're going to zoom in, and we're going to see we're at 537.28, putting us up above those previous peaks, but not up above this peak that we have over here right now. So we'll see what happens when the market opens. I do think that as we get near that 540 level, on here it's 539.40. As we get near that level, we could see a quick drawdown. We'll see a retest of support most likely. And I will say, if I put these back up here for you, and then we move into this more near-term side of things, there we go. You can see the support that we caught ourselves on, but we also have a resistance line at 540.75. Besides getting rejected off of a major pivot, like I said, at that 539.40 level that we have going right across here. So we have to be aware of those. And I left up these old trend lines because they can also act as resistance for us to the upside. And it is a very good chance that we actually see the market rally not only through the end of June here, given the current movement that it has, and it seems to be shrugging off the idea of not a ceasefire. So, I mean, we can still have any number of catalysts to mess us up. We still have the whole tariff thing to worry about. That hasn't gone away. And we also have labor market data coming up in early July for us. But if tariff doesn't really do a whole lot to surprise things, the market can keep on moving in its general direction, which is up. And then also if labor market data doesn't really show signs of weakening in the labor market, that we still sort of have relatively strong data coming out there, the market can once again keep on climbing. And then we start to look into the Q2 earnings reports and see what's being said there for further indications on what businesses see happening with the economy moving forward. So let's pop this back up here. Like I said yesterday in my video, in my afternoon video, I should say, after the Iranian attack on the U.S. military base in Qatar that seemed to have failed, it seemed to be sort of that it's over, and the market sentiment sort of went like that. Same thing with the ceasefire news, that hopefully progress is being made, or at least the U.S. doesn't necessarily go into further involvement. So right now the market's tending to rally. We'll see if that keeps on going for us. When we move over to SPY, the number to beat on here is 609.59. So that's this peak that we have over here. And in the pre-market hours, we happen to be up above that 600 number. So there's not a whole lot between where we're at right now and retesting the all-time high for SPY. So I think that, well, we could still potentially get there in June. We still have that golden cross moment coming for SPY. If we look at the Qs and put up the simple moving averages for that as well, take down the technicals, you can see we caught that support at the 20-day, and we already got that golden cross between the 50-day and the 200-day. And if we move over to IWM, this one, we'll take down the technicals for a moment. You saw the inverse head and shoulders on your screen. If not, go back in the video, check it out. Caught support at the 20-day. We're also up above this magenta 50-day on here, curling up quickly to this flat 200-day, which could still act as resistance for us. But I think this could be that run where we actually get to sit on top of it, and we start to see further upside come our way for these small caps. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if that upward pressure keeps on going from right here. And if we look out at some of the other period charts that we have on this, such as the weekly chart, the momentum is absolutely gorgeous. The RSI is sitting at 53, and at the monthly also sitting at about 53, ready for a further climb from where it's at right now, not being anywhere even close to the overbought territory across the daily, weekly, or monthly charts, all of them freshly crossing above, or as in the case of the daily chart here, being very comfortably above 50, however, not nearly overbought. So small caps, IWM, this is absolutely a place that I think that we should be looking over the next several weeks here at least. Now, I'm going to show you Teladoc's chart in just a moment here. That is the stock that I really think that we should be paying attention to in the near term. I think it's going to be a really good pick and an outperformer for us over at least the next several days to next maybe several weeks, maybe even months. We're going to have to look and see what the chart is suggesting for us. But I will be sharing the technicals as I build them out over at the Discord. Like I said, the link is in the description. Code word doctor gets you 50% off your first month. Thousands of people have already signed up and are absolutely loving the ecosystem that is that Discord, that through the ups times, down times, we get to trade either way. We get to share our investment ideas out there as well. The community does the same thing, as well as the panel experts. Guys, that support that you can find over there, you can't get anywhere else. And it is at such a steal price, especially when you use that code word to just try it out and see what you think. Most people, nearly everybody, ends up staying because they love everything that the Discord has to offer, and it's being offered to you guys as well. And then also down in the description is a link for Stockmo Academy. Stockmo is a personal friend of mine. Both of us having backgrounds in education. For me, I was education brought to finance. For him, he was finance brought to education. And I'll tell you what, meeting in the middle, I was able to vet those courses that he and Mrs. Mo put together, and they are top notch, not only from the financial side of things where they can really help you to understand the technical analysis and trading using the bread recipe trading strategy, but then also through options as well. But also on the educational side of things, they are the cleanest, easiest to understand courses that you're going to find with immense power for what they can do for your portfolio. Code word doctor is also going to work for those as well. It will get you a huge discount when you sign up for those courses. And if you bundle the two courses together and use code word doctor, that's where you're going to get that maximum savings. All right, guys, let's get into that chart for Teladoc. TDOC is the ticker symbol for that one. And we are getting darn close to the 23.6 on this Fibonacci retracement level. And some of the things that I see that I like on this one. First of all, we had a nice big move on volume support. We're up above, with the current price up above the 13, up above the 5. The market has just opened. This is a weekly chart that we're looking at here, but the RSI on the weekly chart close to crossing 50. That means that this could be part of a longer term trend after we had several weeks of bottom consolidation here. And if we drop down to the daily chart on this one, you can see that push right up to that 23.6 level. The 5 has crossed the 50. That's a bullish thing. The 5 also, or the 13 crossing the 50 is also going to be major for us in terms of bullishness. And you guys can see the volume that we had. And just to go back to the weekly charts volume just for a quick moment, because I want you to see this, that just yesterday's volume outperformed the volume that we had going all the way back to the last week in April, the last time that the entire week was able to make up the volume for what we saw in just a single day. Just Monday's trading, although now this is starting to include the trading that we got. There you go. Look at that volume spike. So that's a lot of volume conviction in that move. Like I said, probably a lot of shorts closing out the position after such a move. Probably shook quite a few people out of that one. So let me grab at the top of that. We'll shrink that back down. And like I said, the 13 crossing over the 50 is also going to be a bullish thing. So the RSI up above 65, 66. This thing might actually come down and retest the 5, or it might even retest the 50, but as long as it stays above those moving averages, that is a bullish thing to watch. Overall, the trend is bearish on this one. If we put up the simple moving averages on here, they'll pop up in just a moment. There we go. We actually have the 20 crossing over the 50 with this big move that we had that put us on top of that. So to see that bullish crossover of the faster moving averages moving above the slower moving averages is absolutely enormous. This thing was range bound up to about, looks like about 760, but then also bottomed out around 675. That big volume move on that conviction moved us out of that range. Hopefully we get a pullback to 675, or I'm sorry, 760. That allows us to get that next big move up without feeling like we overspent on this one. It is something speculative, and if I had to guess, I would say that they are probably pre-profit right now, and that's exactly what it is. So this would be a very high-risk play. First of all, that we're still against the trend because we're down below the 200 SMA on this one. So overall, it is still bearish with some good movement in the near term. Weekly chart, RSI, like I talked about, also stepping up near 50. You can see the rejection off the 20-week. Getting on top of that is going to be absolutely massive. So sitting on top of the 23.6 at $8.34 could give us further room to the upside, with the 50-week sitting at 879 as I record this video. And if we go out to the monthly chart and we look at the RSI, we'll see if we can pick this up off the floor for you so you can really see it. There we go. If we can start to see a better increase in the RSI here, especially to overtake these previous peaks around 36, if we start to hit 40, 45 as the months go on, that can also lead to further momentum on a longer term trend basis. Right now, let's start with the weekly one to see if we can keep that momentum going to pop 50 on this one and continue higher from there. So guys, you can let me know what you think of the market. Are we going to hit those all-time highs? We are, man, we're close. We're within like 1% on the Qs, 1% on SPY. IWM, are we going to break that 200-day and actually get a candle on top of it? Is Teladoc actually going to be a major outperformer and send us back up into the $10 plus range, maybe even take us back up to 15, because it absolutely could climb that high and higher. This could be the next 2x stock that we see hit this channel, and I'm going to do further technical analyses. I will share that over in the Discord, in the expert channel, in my expert channel that's over there, and also I'll share out further news and information and trade setups over in the expert channel as well. Links in the description, code word doctor. When you sign up for the earner tier, that's where you're going to get that 50% off your first month. And then also don't forget about that coursework. If you want to know more about technical analysis, trading using technicals, and how to trade using options to really empower your portfolio, code word doctor through Stockmo Academy is also going to get you a massive discount. Remember, the bundle plus code word doctor is going to get you the biggest discount. Guys, thanks for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.